All right, it's Ron Goodall, FightHype.com. I'm here with the undefeated 21 wins, 0 losses, Andres Cortes, who makes his
Yeah,
return back at the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas on June 21st, facing none other than Abraham Nova, right?
yeah.
How excited are you to have this fight?
I think it was bound to happen, and I think it was just one of those fights that kind of had to happen, and here it is. So I'm ready.
I know previously there was some back and forth with you guys' press conference. It's almost like
Yeah.
you kind of knew like I'm gonna face this guy. What about Nova that you knew at some point you guys had a clash?
I mean, it wasn't really necessarily that. It was just kind of like he said that he wanted the winner of that fight when he was offered to fight me, and that was just the truth. I was just speaking the truth, and so like that fight could have been happened, but it just didn't. So, I was just being honest, and I guess he took it the wrong way or whatever. But it's whatever. It's war.
Your last two performances, I'll put myself included, right? I didn't really know what to expect. And sure
Yeah,
enough, there's probably some naysayers, some people making some excuses. But regardless, you got the knockout in
yeah,
devastating
yeah.
fashion. And were you surprised that you were able to perform and have against a tough guy like Brian?
Uh, not really. I knew that they would be tough. But I know the work I put in. I know the work that goes into what I do. So I mean, I think preparation is everything. So if you're ready, I think the fight should be easy.
In addition to the win against Nova, Nova's a
Yeah,
great win. It would probably put you in a great position for a world title. You're ranked number 3 on BoxRec, right? I know it's
yeah,
BoxRec rankings,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that speaks high. So, what would I guess before I guess get into that, what did you think against Nova's performance against Oshiki Foster, I guess?
I kind of expected that. I said it in another interview before the fight that I knew that fight would be very competitive. I did also say that he would kind of fade later, which he did. I love boxing, so I watch boxing every day. So whether it's my opposition or whatever, I'm still watching it. On my time off, I'm watching it. So um, yeah, I just kind of predicted it, and it went the way I thought it would.
Did you think that Oshaki performed like he should have in that fight, or do you think that was just a style matchup that was just a close
Mm,
fight?
No, I think my honest opinion is I think Nova had the fight of his life, and I think Foster did what he could. Um, I don't think he would have risked it, all to underperform. So I think yeah, I think if they were to fight again, I think we would see the same fight. So that's it. That's that's what I thought.
With your style, your IQ, and now I can definitely compensate your power. Is the ideal fight is you and Oshaki Foster and kind of have this Nova fight as the showcase to kind of get you that fight?
Hopefully, I mean, I'm not too aware of what's gonna happen next. I'm focusing on this fight, but hopefully, I know I'm gonna go in there and knock him out. So that being said, it'll be a better performance and a better fight than him and Foster.
In this particular training camp, has there been
Yeah.
anything changed? Have you brought new people in? Have you done different techniques? Anything?
Not too much changes. Just trying to improve, adding things on, better nutrition, just uh pieces like that. As far as just outside of boxing, making everything more better, the recovery, just everything, but more work. So just adding on.
I got a chance. I think I seen you're even at the UFC facility too. So
Oh
like,
yeah,
is
yeah.
that like a new kind of thing that you're also adding into this camp?
No, it's just I have access to it, so I'm taking advantage of it. That's really it. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, I do have to ask because you're climbing up into world title,
Yeah.
contention, and you've already worked with a lot of great world champions, and
Yeah.
you got to work with Gervonta Tank Davis in the past. You sparred with him. I'm sure that you're gonna probably also, out in Vegas, see Tank versus Frank. Do you
Yeah.
have a prediction on that fight, or you think how that fight might even play out?
Yeah, I think it will be a little difficult at first for Tank, and I think he probably finishes late. I do think Tank will probably knock him out late.
You know,
TKO, sorry.
and you know, and these guys, they've sparred before, right? And I know sparring is just
Yeah,
sparring, right? Granted
yeah,
that you can't really just go into the fight thinking it's
yeah,
the same thing, but just coming from you, why is that so different that you just the nuances, right? Like I know there's
yeah.
different size gloves. I know you guys are working on this, but why is it that much different than like a pro fight?
Um, I, I think because like just based on how your training is, for one, is just like you don't really people don't know what you're doing the night before. You might have had, a long weight session, a long run, or even I don't know, hit the sauna and you might feel, a little tired. So, and then you got bigger gloves, so you're not really feeling the shots. As for when you go to the fight, you got little gloves, no headgear, the lights are on you. You had to make weight, so who knows how your weight cut was. Um, and all that stuff plays effect on the fight. And one fight, one punch can end the whole fight. So
Mhm.
that's the difference, yeah.
My last set of questions is in regards, in boxing, you normally see a lot of, father figures or even father-son duos, right?
Yeah,
And this is brothers, right? And
yeah,
I don't know if it's been highlighted heavily a lot, but just the chemistry that you have with your brother and why is it able to work? Because I get the father, son, the head honcho of
yeah.
the house, but why is this such a fluid chemistry between you and your brother?
I think because we've been doing this for a long time. This is not something that happened overnight. I think a lot of people like see us and think, oh, they just started this or they're kind of going with the flow. I mean, I've been boxing my whole life, and so has he. So, I mean, if you really mix all of that and put it into one, it's just a lot of time and a lot of school, a lot of everything going into that. And two, I mean, you gotta as a coach, as a trainer, you got to know your fighter. So, I mean, obviously we're brothers, so you know,
Who's some people that he's done some stuff, fought against or amateur wise or anything? Like who's some people he shared the ring with some fight fans might not know?
he actually beat Foster twice, O'Shaquie Foster. He beat Jose Ramirez. He fought um the one I forget his name. He was a British fighter. So like we have a lot of experience. I mean, he had like 100 amateur fights. I had about 150. So
And what's the reason of he went trainer and you made, stayed fighter,
to be honest, I mean, I don't really know. I think everyone, has their own personal reasons.
Mhm.
I truthfully don't know.
But with all things said and done, you guys probably
Yeah.
sparred before one time, right?
Well, yeah, when we were kids, not lately. Be a
Awesome.
lot different now. Yeah.
Well, look, before I let you go, I know there's a great fight with you against Abraham Nova. I know you've been asking for a lot of fights. It seems like things are starting to kind of come closer and closer. I know you've been also asking for the Oscar Valdez fight. You've been
Yeah.
hunting down a lot of guys, but it seems like maybe this year these guys will have to fight you at some point. So, any last message to the fans out there who's going to be either rolling up at the Fountain Blue in Las Vegas on June 21st on ESPN? Or just tuning in on ESPN,
Yeah.
and watching you fight.
I mean, hopefully everyone can make it to the Fountain Blue, or if not, tune in June 21st on ESPN. I am promising a knockout finish. So if you guys want to see a knockout and ass whooping, tune in.